I farted in Planet Fitness and it set off the lunk alarm.
The funk alarm.
That's
Yeah,
a
the
real
stunk
thing that
alarm.
Scotty Allen Day said in his latest video.
Really?
Yes, I'm not even lying. The first thing he
Come
says
on.
when you open the video, I'll put a clip of it in here. He says he set off the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness by farting.
Hey everybody, this is Beast. Welcome back to my channel. I farted at Planet Fitness so loud I set off the lunk alarm.
If people don't know what that is, it's the alarm that sets off at after a certain amount of decibels if you're dropping weights or grunting or something. And he says that he set it off farting. And I don't know how loud you would have to fart and how close you would have to be to it to make it go off.
I don't know if it would be the sound of the fart, but maybe it was so bad that the employee, because they could just flip that switch and flip it on. I think
that
it's
was
like a disturbing behavior. Like, you stink, man. And then guess what? It's probably not just his farts. Like, once again, it's probably his
Stinky
fucking
feet.
and they're sick of them.
Yeah, his whole body, and he just doesn't care every time someone says something.
He calls them oatmeal farts too, which is even.
Yeah, he said another thing he said in the last couple days is that he said oatmeal farts, and that which one I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. I'll grant him the beans thing when he was eating 300 grams of protein a day with only beans.
Yeah.
That'll make you fart, but I don't get how oatmeal would make you fart.
Only Beans is his site.
Yeah, he sells jars of farts. Like Christina
I love
Perry.
that song. Christina Perry.
My understanding of the lunk alarm is that it has to be done manually. I didn't think it was like an automatic thing.
Oh, does
I
it?
thought they did. Yeah, so it must
It
have
has to be,
been
'cause that shit
fucking.
would go off all the time for no reason.
Yeah, so it must, or like the music playing in there or whatever, like it get loud, you would want it going off. So it must have just been that like either he was ripping like gas, thinking that there's like an old like fitness meme about everybody headphones, like you fart when you're on a bench and you like look around like
Yeah.
mischievously, and then just everyone's wearing headphones so no one knows that you farted. So either it was like loud as fuck, or yeah, he just stinks.
It's probably a combination of both. Maybe they've already had complaints about him, and they just like they walk by and just smell him. And they're like, yeah, that's it's the funk alarm, dude.
Sir, we do have showers here. We have showers that you can use and towels and stuff, and we're not sure why you're not.
Oh, don't tell him there's towels there, man. Let's put
I'll
them
put
on
some
it.
towels on it. Oh yeah, all the towels are suddenly gone, or they're all yellow.
Ooh.
Why are all the towels yellow? All the towels yellow. All the towels yellow. I was gonna say the phone losers guys. They used to do these pranks where they would call different Planet Fitnesses and talk to the staff and pretend to be corporate and say, "We need you to test the lunk alarm." And the employees do have a button where they can set it off, and you could hear it going off in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
It used to be so easy to do that. If you're at a retail job right now and someone calls and says, "Hey, I'm from corporate, from wherever you are. Can you turn off all the circuit breakers?" That's not corporate.
Do you guys remember the phone losers one where it was I think Boston's Pizza, but not the Canadian one, like Boston's here, and they were calling it was somebody that was there with his friends. Yeah, he checked it because they would find these guys when they would check in on Foursquare back when that was a thing. And they would call these locations to be like, so and so, you are the 250 millionth person served at our establishment. You've won $1 million. Like, first of all, it's so funny.
Yeah,
They
that was
call
an
the store
amazing
and
thing.
say,
Like,
hi, this is so and so from corporate. Bring us to that table over there where blah 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 is sitting. So funny.
yeah,
They're
like
in the
not
corner.
calling that guy, calling the staff at the restaurant where they're at,
Right.
and then having them call out their name or go see them.
Because
And
it
the person's
sounds so
confused.
official. If the waiter came and told you something like that, you'd be like, oh, sweet. You wouldn't think you're getting pranked. Like putting a middleman there, like the employee, is the most. It makes it so real. They kept one guy on the phone for like 25 minutes. He was like, just fucking hyperventilating. He's like, I can't believe it. I never win anything.
Yeah, how would you know it's fake?
Oh, and
Cruel.
do you remember like they were like, you have to go to the back of the restaurant to claim it, and like they'd have him on the phone, and he'd just be like walking through the kitchen and shit. Oh my god, that was so so evil.
I did
A
that
random guy
once.
at a restaurant that checked in on Foursquare, walked through the kitchen of the restaurant looking for like cash.
I did that once to a Dunkin' Donuts, like late at night, where I got someone to turn off the circuit breakers, and eventually they turned it back on.
Oh my god.
It was like a 2-tiered prank where it was like someone that I forget, like my wife knew them, or like I knew them, or I went to school, or like, you know, they were like a dick to someone I knew or something, and we
Yeah,
like just
I
like
understand.
called the Dunkin' Donuts late at night, and
You don't need to explain yourself to me, buddy. I get it.
And then I called like 10 minutes later and says, are you guys open? Because I just drove by and all the lights were off. And they're like, no, we just had, corporate was having us test the power and stuff. So that's
Fuck corporate, man. They're always fucking with us.
telling the manager tomorrow morning. Well, so corporate called and they had me turn off all the fridges with the milk in it.
Dude, I did that to the hospital. It fucked up a ton of shit.
We need to check your blood fridges are still working. So if you just like take all the blood out of them and leave it, and then we get a temperature check in the fridge in 3 hours.
Hi,
Yo, I
is this
got the Red
morgue?
Cross to throw out all their blood because I said it had AIDS in it. It's a great prank that I just did. Hundreds of thousands of
Oh.
gallons of blood down the drain.
Remember when Pepsi did that? When they accidentally had a bunch of AIDS in their Pepsi? Man, that fucking time on Twitter was so annoying.
That's
There
what
was a
Kiss
whole-
did.
There was a whole thing about AIDS being in... No, it was Coke, because it was in Atlanta. There was AIDS in a batch of Coke, and they were like saying don't drink it. It's like pre-QAnon shit.
Yeah, like the needles and the coin returns. It wouldn't even survive in there. Like Pepsi will
You would just
dissolve
be-
your teeth. I don't think a disease could. A virus definitely couldn't because it can't. AIDS can't survive long on anything. It has to be in a body.
Dude, I was watching this video the other day of... You might have gotten it in your YouTube recommendations, because 60 Minutes has been uploading like some of their most famous segments that are like related, like crime stuff all together in like a 1 hour block. Really good videos, by the way. And this one was when they caught Whitey Bulger and when he was in disguise and shit. But then like they need to fill the rest of the hour, so there are a few more stories. And one of them was this hitman from Philadelphia, and he was so like... He was such an ape. I forget his name, but I'll send you the video later because you have to watch it. But the reporter's talking to this guy years after when he's out of jail, or I forget what happened. No, his brother was killed, or he was never convicted or something, or only did 10 years. Anyway, he's out now, and all these like former cops and shit are like, I don't think he's reformed. I think like he could do this again, blah blah blah. And he is like totally a sociopath. And he's like, after I got out of prison, I still had thoughts of revenge. Like the reporter's asking, like, do you still feel violent? And she was like what? You're gonna get him back how? He's like, well, I would think like maybe injecting their wife with AIDS or something.
Damn.
Like, out of nowhere.
Well, that's no longer a death
Oh no,
sentence.
it was I remember now. It was the guy reporter. Forget his name now, but I have to send you the video because the face he makes in it when the guy says the AIDS thing, it looks like a fucking like Daily Show type response. Like he's like, his face right away is like it's like a disgusted.
Where are
It's
you
a
gonna
very
get it?
It's a very Obama face. Yeah, that's like the logistics of that whole thing. We were talking about that too because I had to roll that back and be like, wait, you're gonna do what? That was your plan? The
Yeah.
logistics of this is so stupid.
It would be
I
one
need
thing
a-
if you
I
had
need
it
a
and you were
vial
like,
of AIDS blood stat.
like you're asking around on Craigslist or something, or just going up to some guy you know has AIDS and just yoink, getting a syringe of his blood, and you what? Hey,
Just a little bit of his hair.
he thinks a mosquito bit him.
Yeah.
The hell?
People are so ignorant about that anyway.
Yeah, people don't understand AIDS still. People don't understand any disease. I guess it makes sense with COVID. It's like even with the internet and stuff, people still think like if you don't have the mask over your nose, it's okay. You only have to have it over your mouth. Like people would say that. So I believe that it makes sense why people were so
For
stupid
the
about
like
AIDS.
anti-vaxxers or just people that don't believe that it was a real thing and it's just a cold, blah 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 blah. They're in their head. They must think there's a certain point in time where we must have had to stop believing things that are told to us, but the stuff before that's okay. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, there are a lot of adults like that who
When
they've,
is the turning point?
like they've believed basically everything they were told up until like 2 years ago, and then they get Q-pilled, they get red-pilled, and then everything is fake. Everything on CNN is fake. Every president has been a member of the Bilderberg group. Everything is the matrix that you have to break out of. But then
Yeah.
they still like, they're still like, oh, I love Reba. I love Reba and Kenny Chesney and
Who
Garth
doesn't?
Brooks. Even though all of them are pedophiles and they drink child blood, I still like all that stuff. But all this stuff from now on, like everyone that's on TV now is a pedophile and they drink child blood.
This is the banality of evil, right? Like it's way easier to square away that it's a big conspiracy instead of just like hey, this system blows.
Losing our freedoms here in Obamaville.
And we're back. Accidentally stopped my
The
recording.
Bilderbergs took us down. We were speaking too much truth
Yeah.
about politics and the realities of the
The
world.
second I said capitalism.
That's why Jimmy Buffett got taken down.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in power,
peace.
Jimmy Buffett.
Rest in power. Rest in pina coladas. Alex just put his
Black
fist
power.
up. It was
Beach power.
Small White Bubba's back at it. I'm feeling today for Derek. I'm feeling for all the Salt Life guys. Probably many
Yeah,
deadheads.
definitely.
There's a crossover there.
Did he ever do that cruise to Antarctica? Remember we talked about that on like an early episode of the podcast?
That's how he died.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the ice. Jimmy Buffett.
He was made for the beach. They should make an icebreaker like the David Attenborough. They should make that into the USS.
It only
Jimmy
happened in
Buffett.
December.
Did they actually do this?
I mean,
Holy shit!
I see a contest for entering it. Adventure
no
to
way he did
Antarctica
it.
with Coral Reefer friends.
He died. Coral
Wow, this
Reaper?
website loads slow as fuck.
He's dead now.
Typical
That's probably
lazy
why.
bastard. Sitting on the beach. Probably all the guys who run the server room, they're out on the beach sipping a mixed drink.
They're drunk. They're drinking their Malibus.
Well, I see penguins on this website. They should
Okay,
take
well,
those
in
off of there.
September of last year,
That's false advertising. They're all
September
dead.
of last year, he postponed dates due to health issues and brief hospitalization. So I doubt he took a fucking boat to Antarctica.
That would have killed him.
No,
And
I
he's
don't think
dead
he
now.
did that. I see the advertising for it, but I don't see any pictures or yeah. I wouldn't want to go to Antarctica, really. I mean, it would be
Why
cool to
not?
see it, but I don't know. It would have to be a cool boat or a cool plane, because you would be on that plane for so long.
On the evening of September 1st, 2023, my friend Jimmy Buffett died. He fucking died. I love doing the Donald tweet with everybody that does. Dave Chappelle going into a serious talk about Jimmy Buffett dying.
I love Serious Dave.
Has anyone retweeted the 8 million people saying vaxxed in all the quote tweets about Jimmy Buffett's death?
Oh, no.
It's just so unfunny now. I think I don't even notice. I think if I see those jokes, my eyes don't let me.
Yeah,
They're censored.
you can't even get mad about it, really. It's just like, it's like people
No.
saying Harambe. It's on that
I'm
level.
glad when I see people doing that. I'm privileged because I have a quick wit. I can think of my own jokes, and I'm glad that people are feeling happy enough to attempt a joke. You know,
Yeah,
if you want,
if
if
it's
that makes
harmless.
them laugh, that's fine. If they think that they're the first person to say it, or even the 15,000th to say it, that's okay too.
Yeah, and like I said, it's good that it invalidates the conservative vax hysteria, where every time someone dies, it's all jokes, people making fun of them, and I like to think that they're like, hey, this is serious, you guys. This is serious that he died from the vaccine. I don't know why. Stop fucking around, you guys. This is serious.
One of my favorite eras on Twitter was Weird Twitter, when people would call each other out for quote unquote stealing jokes, when the truth is like they just thought of their own simple pun like
Yeah.
years later. Home Halfway was great at that. He'd be so fucking proud, and he'd have like an actual tweet popping off with 400 retweets in the first hour, and then somebody would reply with like fucking that David A. Hughes guy would reply with like his like almost word for word same easy pun from like 8 years before, and he's like, "Oh mate, stealing from me, yeah?" Like, no, you're both just stupid.
Yeah, it's guys who aren't actually funny. They don't have any wit, so they go down the list of easiest jokes. They're all trying to stumble on twerking hard or hardly twerking.
Exactly.
That's like the
That
holy
sort of
grail.
shit.
All 50,000 guys who thought of that,
Who?
including
Who
Lena Dunham.
Yeah, Lena Dunham tweeting that, everyone going, "Fuck you," and she deleted it.
Yeah, she tweeted it in like 2015, and everyone was like, "Are you serious?"
That's some shit to go tweet right now. Aaron's doing it, I bet.
I'm doing it, yeah, on the show account.
It's pretty good.
Or tricking hard or hardly twerking.
Lena rocks. I,
spell it right.
I love that tweet she did about putting her body on the steps of the Capitol or whatever, or the CDC. If she dies of COVID, like doing that thing with that people did with AIDS.
Oh my god.
Not to bring up AIDS again.
Yeah.
But
Or COVID.
it's
The
so
AIDS
funny to
app.
do that, especially when it's like Omicron. It's like, come on. You're like 38. You're not going to die. Just drink some water, get some rest. You're all right.
Oh no, I have to stay
I might have
inside
COVID
again.
right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm doing a flu episode of the pod. Yeah, I don't have any. I have like the sniffles, and like
They still
everybody
free
at my
there?
work site's been sick over the last 2 weeks. Maybe.
You guys should get a Joe
I don't
Biden. He
know.
gives us stuff.
I think I have a couple tests left, but I heard they don't work.
Yeah, they expire. They're supposedly not as accurate. And I think the only thing like you can really tell they don't work is if you ever take one that like the control strip shows up like right away. If they're expired, it takes like 10 minutes for the control to show it too. So I wouldn't really trust that. Oh, I have no lines. I'm not sick.
There's nothing there.
I'm just imagining it as a placebo. There has been a lot of around the job site because like people have been sick, people have been talking about COVID, and then I would say like 90% of the people I work with are like openly like conservative, and
So the fact that they're
Oh,
talking
really?
about it.
they're all really like, oh, we're gonna get another lockdown. They're gonna do a control of food inflation, and I was like, they're not gonna do it, right? Like, there's not gonna be it's the moment has passed.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to
especially
happen.
in Alberta. Fuck, no shot it's gonna happen here.
It would be such an uphill battle to get like everybody masking again and stuff.
What if they only did
Yeah.
it in like Texas and Florida? Lockdown.
They should do that. I think DeSantis,
punitively.
what DeSantis should do is say, I'm going to take a vacation, you guys, for a couple months, and you're not going to see me, and I'm going to appoint the lieutenant governor, and then the lieutenant governor does the Gretchen Whitmer stuff, maximum lockdown, and then he comes back a month later and says, I killed her. I killed her. I can't
Yep.
believe they did that, you guys. You know,
Yep.
like, because there's no way he's going to get to repeat that, the lockdown thing.
Man, Gretchen had to deal with some. Well, it's funny that I'm not even sure if there was any credible death threats against Gretchen Whitmer because all those guys were set up by an FBI agent going, it'd be awesome to do, guys. Let's do it. And then they all planned it. And he's like, you're arrested.
Yeah, they got trolled.
Well, and then that person turned out to be actually like a guy, and it was just cosplaying as like his aunt or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gretchen.
yeah, Gretchen.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was some weird guy pretending to be a governor.
That guy was fucking the guy that for those of you that don't remember, there was a guy that was a weird Twitter guy, and he existed kind of on his own account as well, but in a lesser way. But he basically was cosplaying and catfishing as his own aunt for years, and it would be like she was basically like brunette Reba McEntire, but she'd be like, y'all, this new Migos is fire, like that type of tweet.
Yeah, like the
Like-
Twitter grandma.
Yeah.
Except it's a 22-year-old guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's generous. He was like 30 doing it, and it was like his 48-year-old aunt.
God. It was because he was telling girls, my nephew is actually
Yeah,
pretty
he was
hot.
trying to set himself up. He's like, oh, I see you live in Omaha. My nephew lives there.
Who gets set up by their aunt anyway?
Me.
Not me. Oh, we're gonna have to debate this, Michael.
All right.
And then there's like the Brooklyn biatch as well, right? Which like I think the the prevailing theory is that not only was it home halfway, but it was like a few guys pretending to be the woke sex worker with the leftist pimp.
Yeah, it was that one.
Right.
It was that one comedian, Whit Power, and is that his name?
But like was it just to like try and get into like ladies group chat so they can like like lie about having a period app or whatever?
Maybe. I
Like,
think that they also thought it was some sort of like a creative exercise.
Yeah,
Like, this is
I-
practice for being an actor.
it was definitely a weird infiltration thing, and they tried to say it was like a social experiment or something, I'm sure, when they planned on doing that. But also, like, I don't know if it mattered to any of those guys as much that it was a woman or not. I think they just wanted like the Tom Sawyer funeral type thing. Like, what's everyone going to say about me when I'm not around? And they just sit on their other account
Just
as
what-
someone
yeah.
else.
like they just wanted attention or whatever. It was like a way to get attention, like vicariously.
They would like Home Halfway would use it to link his own tweets, like on Home Halfway tweets in a DM, be like, "Isn't this funny?"
Yeah, that's how he got caught.
Yeah.
He's like, check out my tweet, you guys. And then it was home halfway, but he posted it as the Brooklyn biatch.
That's yeah.
God, he's so
Oh.
cool. He's such a psycho. It's awesome. He truly, like, that was the happiest he ever felt, was getting 2,000 retweets on twerking hard or hardly twerking.
Nope, Helen Hunt, but only when Helen
Helen Hunt, but Helen twerking. Like, going into the content mines and just mining all day, and you find something like that, like Helen Hunt and Helen Hungry. Oh my God, I did it, you guys. That was like the happiest day of his life, and he's brute forcing it.
You have me where I just remember that some dumbass kid that I knew would say Mortal Kombat like Motor Comeback. So I searched it on Twitter and find a bunch of people calling it that. Or just saying like they remembered when their sibling called it that. And I post that and get like 1,000 faves. Those guys are like, oh, dang it.
What was the one we were talking about yesterday?
Now I gotta remember.
It was Motor Comeback and then something else.
I literally had already forgot. We were talking about a
It was
bunch
during the
of them.
Fortnite stream.
We were talking about Motorcycle. The
Motorcycle.
band, but
I think
there
it
was
yeah.
Macaroni and cheese, Motor Psycho.
Murder Psycho.
Murder Psycho is a good one, yeah.
Murder Psycho. Dude, they don't gotta wear helmets on a Murder Psycho here. What?
Man, I wish I had been dumber as a kid so I could say shit like that. I wish I could talk about Motor Comeback. I wasn't even allowed to play Motor Comeback because it was M.
M for mom doesn't let me play this.
Yeah.
M for mom can't see this game. That's what M meant in my house. It doesn't matter if you're playing it. Fuck it.
Yeah, games are actually not really... There aren't really any games that you can't show to like a 16-year-old, I guess. Obviously, we're not talking about like hentai games that come up when you're on the Steam top sellers page. But like stuff like Grand Theft Auto, I never got why parents were like, we cannot let our kid play San Andreas. Like, it's not that violent of a game. Really not that... I don't think anyone was damaged by playing that as a middle schooler.
I played that game to drive around and crash the cars aspect of it, not really like the gangsta. I wasn't really fucking around with like the I wasn't really fucking around with the
being a G
strip club and all that.
Oh yeah, I never liked the strip club. The strip club's boring. It's just a quick time event. I want to play the game. If I can beat somebody up, I'll go in there, but I don't want to just like sit and watch a fake 3D stripper gyrate. And it says press X to give her money. That's not fun.
I rarely played the GTA games properly. I'd usually just let my brothers unlock shit and then hop in and use cheat codes to spawn tanks and shit.
The early ones were kind of hard to finish. I remember getting stuck on San Andreas on the helicopter mission. I probably could have beat it if I put more time into it, but the toy helicopter mission, the controls on that are ridiculous. You have to fly it around like through buildings and stuff, and you have to beat it. You can't skip it. In the later games, in GTA 5, they added the skip thing, so if you fail one section of one story mission over and over again for some reason, you can just skip it, which is nice, because a lot of the time there'll be something like that where it's like, can I just play the game? Why do I have to do this helicopter?
I wonder how many things I would go back to and like revisit now that I thought were hard as fuck, but now that I'm like older, it'd be easy as shit. Or how many would be like even harder.
I always tell myself that when I'm playing like a Mario game and I can't figure out a puzzle. I'm like, this is made for literal children to figure out. Just put your mind to it, buddy.
Well,
And
children
you can
are
always
stupid
figure it
too.
out.
A lot of children are bad at video games and can't beat them.
I've used that for so many things in life, like psyching myself out to like go on a scary roller coaster. Looking around online and being like, that's a little kid right there. He's going on it. I'm fine.
I went back and found the malapropism that we couldn't remember.
Oh.
It was Drastic Park.
Drastic Park.
That was a good one.
Yeah, they made some drastic decisions when it came time to take on the dinos.
Dino Souls.
Dinos.
Oh. I was a dinosaur kid, though. Dinosaur kids are special.
I never really liked dinosaurs that much.
I had a dino phase.
Yeah, you should for where you live in the world.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dino shit around
Yeah,
there.
there are a lot of fossils up in there.
That's where the cockmonger picture was taken. Drumheller.
That's
Or at
right.
least that's where his
Yeah,
t-shirt's
well,
from.
that's where he was.
Yeah,
The Drumheller Museum's so sick.
it's awesome.
It's crazy because you're just like this little crumb bum, shitty
You
ass
should take your own
Albertan town, and then there's a.
picture there wearing one of the shirts in the museum. So
And then you walk
awesome.
into the museum, and it's like a world class museum that you'd expect to be in like a major world city. It's like it doesn't fit with the rest of the city whatsoever.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
It's really pretty. Also, just the landscape. It looks like it's parts of it you could lie and say it's like Ireland or Iceland, like from the angle of the hills and shit. It's funny.
Oh yeah.
Did you know there was once a plan to make the Peace River Israel?
What?
Really?
Yeah. Back in like the 1920s or something, there was an idea to send all the Jews there.
They should do it now. Well, don't do that.
I mean, if they want to go there,
I mean,
Give
I
it a
grew up
shot.
5 minutes away, like a 5-minute drive from the Peace River when I was like a little ass kid. Spent a lot of time there. A lot of real estate.
yeah, someone figured, well, this is empty, and it's probably easier to take over than the Middle East.
Yeah. Why didn't they go that route then?
Too cold, I guess.
Yeah. Sucks.
And it doesn't have any of the familiar stuff from the Bible.
Yeah, I guess that too. But like,
We should spend the
Blaze
rest
your
of the
own
pod
path.
figuring that shit out. The whole Israel thing.
yeah. Let's sit down. Let's
You got Israel,
Let's put our
you got
minds to it.
Palestine. Now, one of them's Jewish, and the other one is Christian or something.
No,
Or
I'm
no.
I'm a bit
No,
of an
they're
expert on the
Buddhist?
region because I've read the Old Testament. Every Christian. Oh God. Speaking of Old Testament, how's AR-15's Bible progress going?
He reached the Song of Solomon, so he is slapping his shit. He is, your legs are those of an antelope.
I'm gonna begat. I'm gonna begat all over my floor.
I just begat Methuselah.
Oh, Methuselah.
Methuselah.
Going to his fucking giant ass mega church. Oh, I love God.
It's so funny that he does that. It's so funny to be a trad guy and you go to a mega church that looks exactly like a stadium.
I can't believe he doesn't go to like some fucking Latin pre-Vatican II Catholic church, but hey.
Well, he doesn't like Catholic stuff. It's interesting. Those guys, they're very similar to the trad cath type of guys, like the Red 10 Meg guys, but none of them are Catholic.
He probably doesn't agree with how the Catholics treat the bi guys.
It might just be that he's so far from the coast.
Yeah, I
That it's
assume it's just that it's all.
harder to find Catholic churches than if you're in New York or DC or something.
Yeah, they kind of stay out of the middle like that, huh? You got them in Louisiana all over. I mean, hell, they're called parishes there for the towns.
But he was getting yelled at in the DM, or no, not in the DM, in the Discord by Whatley. Let me pull that up.
Pretty funny that that AR-15 responded to Tom on Twitter the other day.
Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, it's because he was posting this. So he says, I want to give some constructive criticism here. Remember that I am high-functioning autistic and still trying to figure some things out myself, so this is not meant as anything but trying to help. We had a conversation recently about self-defense and how you wanted to use a 50 cal BMG for that, and even suggested you were excited about what it could do to a person. This came off not just immature, but slightly disturbing to me. I was considering it might have been joking, but you referred back to that conversation later after you were talking about going through a rough time and Melanie pushing you away. I reminded you that Melanie doesn't owe any of us her time and attention, and that she's been very busy and under a lot of stress, and you reacted very angrily towards me. There are times you seem like a nice dude, but there are also times that seem to be beyond simple immaturity into attention-seeking or needy behaviors. I would suggest working on those things. I won't claim to be perfect, but when people I like or respect have brought things to my attention constructively, I've tried to listen. On the other hand, some people have gotten frustrated with your response or lack thereof to constructive criticism.
Go.
And that got
pretty
two
succinct.
100 emojis from they
Oh shit!
hate
Are
his
they gonna
ass
say-
so much.
I thought you were gonna say it got to 100 thumbs ups, like 100. It got up to 100 thumbs up. Reacts.
Yeah, 200 likes. And he did say like, okay, yeah, well, I understand. Yes, oh yeah, And then of course the next day he just comes in and says, guys, I got 1 hour of sleep. Time to eat my beef stick breakfast and do 8,000 sit-ups. Like correcting people on shit.
Doing I call it the carnival diet. That's what it should be called. Fucking clowns on it. But being on the carnivore diet, but just eating the big like $3 Slim Jims, the giant spicy ones. So funny,
He says he doesn't have time to go to the grocery store somehow.
bro. Meat's like one of the quickest
Oh,
things.
he's got to go to the gym for 3 hours.
He can sit there. He can sit there replying to Melanie Mac's tweets on his phone while cooking meat. It's so easy.
Yeah, you can listen to a podcast while you do it. You can.
I look
there
at
are a
my
lot of
phone
things
all
you
the
can do.
time while cooking meat. Really easy.
Yeah, easy to do.
You know what that post reminds me of? Like the Watley one. It's very reminiscent of like mid-aughts forum culture,
Yeah.
where like there's a couple of these like pariahs that are a part of your community, and they haven't done anything like egregious enough to get banned, but everyone just fucking hates their asses and kind of tolerates them because it creates topics of discussion.
Yeah, they're the heel.
Right?
You need a scapegoat for everyone's anger.
You always need those like in your little community.
Or else you turn on each other.
A lot of those guys also think, wait a minute, if we get rid of this guy, who's the next guy on deck to be this guy? Is it me?
Yep.
And it could be any of them. If you're on GameFAQs, it could be you. It could be you. But yeah, it is funny seeing them try to deal with him.
If it was ever me, I would just leave.
Yeah, I think if I was in a Discord like that and everyone didn't like me, I would just leave.
Yeah, turn off notifications.
He's sunk cost. He is sunk cost though with her. Like he can't leave now.
Yeah, it's so far in. It's one of those things where if he accepts now that Melanie doesn't like him, that this was a waste of time, that her fan base doesn't like him, that he's personally brought her a lot of scrutiny that she doesn't like and that's made her life worse, where there are people like going through her replies, looking at all of her fans and gang stalking them.
Which I don't condone, by the way.
I don't condone, but it is funny that it's happening.
Yeah.
But there was another thing that Michael pulled up earlier that I wanted to read. It's our old friend Meade. And he's popped up again.
Yeah, I miss
him. Weird, resentful country singers in Virginia trying to go viral. That's been a topic of conversation. Matt Walsh was talking about the ginger beard guy. August 11th.
Ginger
it is funny
beer.
the song that went viral is by the guy from Richmond.
Yeah. And so this is an account called Skelton MEA 81467.
Which is his birthday, August 14th, 1967.
God, I don't think so. That would be funny. He was like 60. So it says, Meade Skelton is a right-wing singer who has written many songs just as good, if not better. He wrote several songs for Donald Trump. That makes it sound like Donald Trump covered them. No one is promoting him. This seems like AstroTurf to me. Even if the guy is talented, yes, but he didn't even write the song. So he's right that it's AstroTurf, but he's also asking that Meade, who's not him, by the way, this guy I like on YouTube, Meade Skelton, why don't they give him a bunch of right-wing money?
They should.
And then someone replies, just some random guy, his singing is more soulful, and he's not actually a right-wing singer. He sings about the pain of ordinary people and blames it on both the right and left. Meade is just a Trump cheerleader with no nuance. He should stick to cowboy songs. More people like that style. He replies again, Meade doesn't fake an accent when he sings, like Oliver Anthony's accent is very over the top. Meade is a great twang-free country singer. And then he says, Meade doesn't have this guy Jan Sobieski, which is, I think, a Polish general from like the 1600s. Meade doesn't have a strong regional accent because he didn't grow up out in the country in a blue-collar family. He does have this weird breathy lilt to his voice, but that's only when he's talking. Then he replies again, that's not really the point. Meade doesn't need to put on a fake country accent, and he's still a real country singer. And at that point, he stops replying.
I think having a twang to your country voice to Meade is like having fucking sagging pants as a rapper.
Uncouth.
Yep, you're setting a bad example for these youngsters.
And the funniest thing that he says is, someone says, or that guy says again, are you Meade's boyfriend or something? You're just chilling away like a promoter. Anthony hit a very sensitive note with a lot of people. They feel his song says what they feel. Skelton hasn't spoken for a huge number of people in his songs. And then he replies, no, I just stumbled on Matt Walsh's post. Meade is also very not gay. He was engaged to Miranda Lambert for a time.
What?
What a liar.
And then Jan Sobieski says, really? Did Meade live in Texas? Because I know Miranda's family and she's never lived in Virginia. Then he says, how do you know her family? Meade probably met her on tour. He went out west a few times. And then that's the last reply about that. But just doing it with Miranda Lambert to begin with is
the funniest gay guy. Meade is very not gay.
It's to say you're married. It's like It's very close to say, oh no, he has a crush on Judy Garland. No, he would fuck Liza Minnelli.
I am very not gay.
No, I beat off to Charlie XCX all day long. She's a queen.
What was that email you sent us about a band of like gay men in a truck pulling up and harassing him about his fucking sexy ass?
Oh yeah, he got guys came up with truck nuts and a big old rolling coal truck, and we're like, hey, look, we're gonna bend you over and fuck you, nice butt.
Yeah,
you want to bottom for us?
I found the email again. I do not hate homosexuals, but they burn in desire of lust for one another.
Burn in desire.
Back when I was 30 years old and in better shape, I was riding my bike and parked at a stoplight when a large pickup truck pulled up beside me. I was not dressed in any flamboyant way, just a pair of blue jeans and a t-shirt. I heard a voice emerge forth and say, "Hey, buddy, nice ass." At first, I thought they were talking about someone else and paid it no mind, thinking it was only a joke. I brushed it off. However, they said not once, not twice, but thrice. I was sexually assaulted by one of the roving bands of homosexuals the Bible warns us about. I never pedaled it so hard. I never pedaled it so hard home in my life and had to take a shower to wash away the filth that was spewed forth upon my person.
Damn. Gang of butt thugs roll over him.
You can assume all you want about me, but I maintain that I love women, have always loved women, and I pray for homosexuals. It isn't the gay people I object to, it's the sin of their homosexuality. For Christ and the Confederacy, Meade Skeleton Half.
My favorite part of that is the implication that he otherwise wouldn't have taken a shower after getting home off his bike ride as a big fat guy in the middle of the summer.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever said what Tom's reply to that email was. I wasn't aware of it until now looking at this thread. Tom replied and just said, "You got a big stinky ass."
Yeah, they want to fuck it. The roving bands of gays in their pickup trucks. I saw some truck nuts the other day.
Of homosexuals.
I saw some actual truck nuts in the wild.
The last truck nuts I saw were like, they weren't colored, they were just the pink ones, and they had like the fake hair on them. They're so gross.
Oh, that's so gross.
Ew.
That's nasty.
Gotta get some Manscaped. Use promo code CHAPOFYM for 20.
You gotta manscape
How
your
much
truck
do they
nuts.
usually give? How much do they give promos for on Manscaped?
Probably 20.
It's like a 20% off. Free shipping on your next order.
Yes.
The Lawnmower 4.0.
They keep making new ones. Could it actually be that good? Did they really improve
not
it
if they
4
have to keep
times?
making new ones.
If they fucking pay me to say so, yeah. And otherwise, use your roommate's clippers, guys. Use
yeah.
Use
Just
your
their beard
roommate's
trimmer or
clippers for your
whatever.
balls, and then yours for the rest of you.
Yeah, and then your roommate can do the same thing, but you just never tell each other, so it's fine.
Yep. That's what hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil means.
See, we're out here doing leftist male advice.
Yep.
God, I just cannot get over that Meade thing. He doesn't realize it's in his
by
name.
the way, Meade is very
Meade.
not gay.
Meade, by the way, coming on, like, it's like, how is that even real? How is he a real person that he's doing that? That he's coming on a burner account that's just his legal name and then saying Meade is very not gay and he was actually engaged to Miranda Lambert. And there's no record of this anywhere for some reason that this very famous country singer with a long Wikipedia article, there's nothing about her being engaged to this guy.
Who's she married to now, by the way?
Blake Shelton.
Nope.
Blake Skelton.
Gwen does.
It's his brother. She was married to Blake Shelton. Now she's married to Brendan McLaughlin.
Okay.
An NYPD officer.
Oh, great. Damn.
Wow.
Maybe Meade thought he could get away with it because like Shelton sounds kind of like Skelton.
Oh.
He was actually married to Miranda Lambert from 2011 to 2015.
My name is Blake Skelton, and I'm married to Gwen Stefani. Blake Skelton.
I don't like her hip hop stylings.
Oh, BANANAS, my ass.
I wish she would have a white backing band. I don't like the Harajuku girls. They're a little bit too exotic for me.
I don't really like her old work, and no doubt, I do not like the Sri Lankan man.
I still love the idea of him pretending he's never heard Elton John.
I know.
Come on.
Bro, he's not gay. How would he?
It's like when Coheed and Cambria would say they didn't listen to Rush.
I would love to.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to troll Meade with the no Elton John thing and be like, this is whatever his local radio station is, an RVA, WRVA, and be like, all you have to do is sing the rest of this song and play like Candle in the Wind or some shit. Fucking some classic Elton John, like, mega hit. Rocket Man. And he wouldn't be able to fucking control himself, man.
Yeah, he would do it.
For he stays for $50 to a steakhouse, and he'd be like, he would sing the entire thing.
Sing Candle in the Wind and win a $50 gift card to Outback.
Oh man, he'd fucking do it a cappella.
They're gonna do that for the 30-year anniversary of Princess Di dying.
Princess Di.
That's why they called her
I
that.
went over to Meade's fucking YouTube page, and he's campaigning to get his music on the Planet Fitness like playlist, which I guess there's like a website you can download, or like an app, a website you can download. Boomer ass. Yeah, there's an app you can get, and you can request songs for Planet Fitness or something. And I'm looking at the transcript. Your local Planet Fitness, isn't it horrible folks have to listen to dance music and hippity hop? Wouldn't it be nicer to listen to Sweet Tea while you're on the elliptical, or those bad things you
The
do
song
while you're
about
doing
being
your
fat?
chest press?
The song about being a big old corn-pone southerner is like, oh, I gotta suck down my sugar. Gotta suck down my 200 grams of sugar.
The transcript though at one point calls it Meat Scout instead of Meat Skeleton.
Yeah, he's a meat scout, all right, at Planet Fitness.
Yeah, he is.
I'm trying to get hired by Planet Fitness as their meat scout in the locker room.
When he first started, he was a Chub Scout.
Chub Scout. I got my badges.
I'm looking for spots to go cruising and perhaps dogging.
Yeah, why would anyone want to
dude.
listen to hip-hop or dance music while exercising? They should want to listen to a slow-ass country song with no drums. That's good exercise music.
Oh my goodness, this sweet tea is delightful. I am on dick for this sweet tea.
Sweet tea is so fucking disgusting. The fact that people drink that, like, big old
come on,
32-ounce cups of... Like, tea is great.
Do you like non-sweet sun-brewed tea?
Yeah, tea is great. But people, they just dump sugar into
You guys
it.
ever do that where you put it out in the sun and cook it?
No.
No.
You never
Too
did
cold
that
here.
growing up? Bro, it's iced tea if in that case. Who cares? Too cold here. Aaron, you should make that at work on the work site. Get mad 'cause someone knocks over your big fucking glass pot of tea.
Fuck.
Bro, I was brewing
Dude, there's
that.
there's this drywaller that has a George Foreman grill in his job box and will like fucking roast hot dogs and stuff. But yet every week at our safety meeting, we're told like you're only allowed water when you're out on site. Like this will be you'll be kicked off site if they see you eating a Kit Kat or like drinking a Gatorade. But somehow these drywallers get away with having a fucking grill and stinking up an entire floor like hot dogs. It's fucked up, man.
God, and that's using electricity on site, too. That's kind of wild to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because you're like plugging in your
there's,
shit.
like,
Do they ban snacks from on site so there's not garbage in the walls?
yeah, and I think part of the reasoning is like spilling stuff on the concrete can like damage it.
Yeah.
If it's like too acidic or
I
whatever.
can see it getting out of hand really quick.
I get why they don't
If you
trust
just let
those guys.
People bring their shit.
Because they pee in the Gatorade bottles, they leave it inside the wall, they think everything
Yep.
is the trash. They have no respect for it. And it ruins it for everybody. It would be nice if people could have food in there.
And that's just the bosses, folks.
Probably.
Yeah.
Blame it on the
Well-
employees. Leave piss bottles everywhere, say it was the employees.
Late stage capitalism.
That's late stage capitalism for you.
It's so stupid. Yeah, they should. You got construction workers acting like they're living in the Kowloon walled city, just peeing in the Gatorade bottles, even though the bathroom's right there, making a mess
Yeah.
like that. You pee in the Gatorade bottle that's full, then go spike it into the porta john, it splashes all over.
Ugh,
So
I've gotta-
nasty.
gonna shoot it.
Glunk.
Oh,
So
God.
there's these. Speaking about like pissing on the job,
Here we go.
I've gained some sympathy for leaving the piss bottle in the wall because
Yeah, I don't actually care.
like the building that I'm working at now is like 8 stories. and they do have these like weird little shitters that they bring up, like outhouses or whatever. But for whatever reason, they're fucking convertible shitters, so they don't have like a top on them at all. And so
They're like for
and in the
really
back-
emergency diarrhea.
yeah, so you can like go and take a shit, but like if someone's like driving by on a scissor lift, they can just like look down into you taking a shit. And like if you want to piss in the toilet that's like walled in, you're like standing up and like your shoulders are above, so you're just like looking at people doing work like as you're pissing.
That's cool.
And then in the back of it, there's like a trough to piss in as well. So you could be taking a shit and a guy can like walk up and just like start pissing on your back on the back of the pisser. And like it's good to have it so you don't have to go down like 8 flights of stairs to go like walk out like another fucking 50 feet or more to go take a piss. But I can definitely see if you really need to pee, like not wanting to like run down 8 flights of stairs just to go and just like, well, I've got a bottle here, I'm just gonna piss in it and leave it in a wall.
Yeah, they should design
So
that better.
there.
There should just be a big Gatorade bottle that everyone can piss in, like one of those big jugs that they pour on the coach at the end of a game. Like have one of those with the big Gatorade logo on it, and everyone can pee in that. And then they dump it off the side at the end.
No, you pour it on the best worker or the worst worker at the end of the day.
I guess if it's an office building, it doesn't really matter. Like if it was someone's house and you're putting pee in there, that feels nasty to me.
Yeah.
But if it's an office, like a skyscraper, who gives a shit?
Yeah, this feels a little bit more ethical. The other thing too is if you shit in the open air shitter, like you're gonna stink up the whole floor like shit because
Yeah,
you just
it's
took a
gross.
shit in
Dude,
there.
it's
Everyone's
like-
gonna get mad at you.
It's like when Andrew and I were taking that like youth group trip to DC, and that one kid fucking walks to the back of the bus. We're not even out of the parking lot yet for where we're meeting up to leave from. We're all getting in this bus getting dropped by our parents. This kid walks to the back, takes a big stinky dog shit before the bus is even like on. Come on, man. It smelled like fucking shit back there the whole time. Thanks to that
Man.
fucking kid.
That's the Scotty Allen Day move. He gets to first thing he gets to work, takes a big shit in the thing with the door open.
Let's dox him. I know his name
Fuck.
still.
When I was in grade 6, we did like a big class trip to Vancouver. It was like this week-long thing. You had to like be good and do fundraising all year to go. And my evil friend, the one that like catfished our grade 7 teacher when we were later on in high school,
Allen.
he was like on the evil Allen. We were on the trip and it was like our first night. We were
Dershowitz
staying in
was
like
his
this
last
hostel.
Yeah, he
Our
went to law
principal
school.
was like this. Our principal was this like hard ass guy, like mean basketball coach, and he was like, "I hope everyone like slept well last night." And Alan pipes up, he's like, "I didn't sleep well last night because all I could hear was Mr. Hartnell farting." And so obviously he gets told off
Scotty.
for like accusing the principal of farting.
Oatmeal fuck.
And so as we were like taking the bus to breakfast, his punishment was he had to just sit in like the toilet in the back.
He had to put his
And so
mouth
he was
over
like-
Mr. Hartnell's ass.
which like in hindsight is such a cruel punishment for a kid. Like you gotta sit in the stinky fucking bathroom as we drive for 25 minutes across
So
Vancouver.
So gross.
Yeah, that's Abu Ghraib shit.
Damn.
That's so
Oh,
nasty.
damn.
Well, I think it's that teacher's fault for farting. You can't get mad at the kid
Yeah.
for saying that you're farting.
I remember they had like a back and forth, and like the teacher would say, or principal would say, like, "No, I wasn't farting." It was like, "Oh, I heard you. I heard you."
Yeah, you were. It's nasty. People think
I
kids
don't
are
know how
stupid.
you would know it was how he would know it's the principal if we're like, because it was like a dorm,
'Cause,
like,
dude.
or hostel with like a whole bunch of bunk beds and
Dude,
stuff.
you know.
Could have been anyone farting.
Nah, you know. You know when it's the older.
I guess maybe if like the teacher's like fucking walking around and stuff, you could hear it from the footsteps.
Maybe it sounded
Oh.
adult.
older guys' farts have
Oh, yeah.
other smells to it, like cigar and stuff for no reason.
Yeah, cigars, beer, wine, pussy.
You guys
You
ever
caught him eating oatmeal earlier.
You guys ever been chilling like on the patio at like a restaurant or like a bar or something, and all of a sudden you smell a cigar, but you don't know it's a cigar right away, and you're like, "What the fuck is that stinky turd smell?" In my like, some cigars are so fucking foul smelling.
Did someone just light
Eh?
a poop?
yeah. Who's burning poop? Oh,
Someone
it's
just
that
has a
guy.
hard turd. You go.
Who's burning poop? Oh, it's that guy sucking on those roll of leaves. What a stupid hobby. No offense to you cigar lovers out there, but that shit's stupid.
so bad at smoking cigars. I was at a bachelor party years ago. They like brought us all these like fucking nice cigars, and mine like kept going out, and it was like all fucking wet where you're supposed to suck on it.
It's
And like a third of the
nasty.
way through, I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't even care. I was like, give me a beer.
I always got pissed when people would put down their cigarettes to smoke cigars at like weddings and shit. I'm like, no, cigarettes are better. Fuck the cigars.
I think it's bullshit how the outside and the inside are both leaves.
Yeah.
They're both leaves. The whole thing is leaves. The outside is leaves and the inside, but it's different types.
Maybe I'll be a cigar enjoyer when I'm old. I've smoked
Yeah.
cigars out of boredom before when I'm like at a cabin or something.
I've smoked
Then
cigars
pass
out of
them out.
bowls. Doing that, breaking up a cigar and then emptying it into a bowl and just hitting the bowls of tobacco until it's all gone. You're just
Ugh.
you're throwing up.
What about somebody? You're at like your boss's like vacation home or something, and he's giving out these like $500 cigars, and you immediately just take out a box cutter and slice it open, fill it with weed.
I'm making a spliff.
well, I'm such a doobie, brother. Fuck.
Smoking a cigar through a bong.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Not bad.
We've converted Michael. He's a cigar guy now.
Yeah, you light it, let it come into the bong,
second
and then you go,
time I ever-
and then you
Dude, the
throw up.
second time I ever smoked weed was out of a hookah, and it's still one of my favorite ways to smoke, and I've never done it again since.
You just don't want to ruin the memory.
Yeah, it's great. Great time. Not bad at all. Kind of tasty too, because we had like a strawberry sheesh in there before. Nice.
Never
I
tried
feel like
that.
I'm too old to go to a hookah bar now.
No, you're perfect age.
Really?
Yeah. Plus, you look like you're British. If anyone like gets too close, you'd be like, "Oh, how you doing, mate?" Like,
I'm from Birmingham. Yeah.
I came to Canada to go to a hookah bar.
I mean, a lot of fucking people do. That's not their intent, but a lot of people traveling, once they figure out they got hookahs there, Europeans love it.
One of the only times I've been like racially profiled in I guess like a negative way is me and some friends were gonna go meet up at this hookah bar. This was back in my early 20s. We were watching like a UFC, and then me and my friend who was like another white guy went, and then we were meeting up with like our Palestinian friend and his girlfriend who was Egyptian. And so we like went to this hookah bar, and we come down and we're like, okay, like what, you have anything drinks? Well, or not drinks, any food? Like we look at your menu, and then they just like, nah, we're gonna close down in like an hour here, but like here's our hookah thing. And we're like, oh shit, well we'll wait for our friends to get here and then see what they want to do. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. And as soon as like my Palestinian friend walked in and they saw it wasn't just like a group of white guys that were like, yeah, so apparently they're closing soon, the kitchen's shutting down. They're like, no, brother, stay. And they just like turned on a bunch of music, and like we stayed there for like 4 hours.
That's so
We just
awesome.
needed a fucking escort who was Middle Eastern. Yeah.
I think all the Israelis should go to Peace River, and they should give Palestine back.
Trying to come into that
Yeah.
hookah bar with an Israeli. You've got your Israeli friend. I got one of them. Like, no,
No.
other kind,
No. So good.
other kind of Middle Eastern guy.
Well, everybody.
Yeah, no, this friend's seen some serious shit when he went back home. Like he was, I believe he was born in Canada and has a Canadian passport and everything. But just because he was brown, like when he was at the airport in Tel Aviv, you have to like get there 8 hours early.
Oh yeah.
Because they make him like sit in a room for like 6 hours just in his underwear with no phone, doing like quote unquote security checks.
I've seen like TikToks of people showing how much bullshit they go through to get home. Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
like illuminated me to their plight like before, I guess, like looking deeper and like becoming more politically aware as I got older.
You were pro-Palestine before you were even not racist anymore.
Yep, I was pro-Palestinian before it was cool.
I didn't even know Israel existed yet.
That's like me being pro-immigrant all the way back in being pro-immigrant, anti-juggalo all the way back in 2010.
Yeah, I remember subscribing to that page.
That's so awesome.
What was it called again?
Illegal immigrants can stay, deport the juggalos. And I gained like 100K. Well, back then it was fans. You become a fan. And I got 100K over like one weekend. And also a lot of death threats.
Yeah, if you compare the employment rate and the crime rate, illegal immigrants are going to come out on top. Way on top.
Yep. Juggalos go the other way, both ways.
No,
Employment,
juggalos are
unemployment,
awesome,
crime.
dude. We watched that video
Oh, yeah, I
of
forgot.
Vince partying at his ex-wife's house. And there's just
That is
paint
pretty
peeling
awesome.
off the walls, piles of plywood and cinder blocks and garbage in the yard. Lawn hasn't been mowed. There are like kids around that are just staying up until 3 a.m. every day. People getting drunk first thing in the morning. People shirtless out on their porch, and you can see them from the highway. And it's leftist. The whole thing is leftist.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're anti-establishment. They're drug workers.
They're drug
actually-
workers.
The first gathering was actually in St. Petersburg back in. So fucking stupid.
That's right. They are quite leftist.
Uh,
Incredibly fucking stupid.
I hate myself. I remember back when they tried to make Juggalos leftist the first time in 2017. Well, not the first time, but the most memorable time. Back in 2017 when they did like the march against Trump about, or it was just basically saying like stop calling us gangsters, but
Yeah.
and then that one leftist blue check account that had like the sort of furry what's it called again with your fursona picture of like the, I think it's like a rhino or something actually. It reminded me very like Bebop and Rocksteady type. Oh no, it's a panda. And then she changed it to like with Juggalo makeup and put Juggalo in her bio, but then like in 170,000 tweets for the 10 previous years had never mentioned being a Juggalo or ICP once. And she got interviewed
That's
by
smart. It's a
tons
good
of
grift.
places, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm basically the leader of this whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's inherently leftist to be part of a group of people where everyone thinks you're weird and gross because of the stuff you do. You should just try to rack up as many of those as possible.
True. Very true. We're just going like when your idea of fun is going and fucking up the toy aisles at somewhere where somebody's making dog shit pay. That's what Juggalos are up to most of the time. Going to play with toys at the store while they leave their kids at home.
Yeah.
Leaving the 8-year-old to babysit the 4 and 2-year-old. That's what Juggalos are like.
And it's kind of interesting how ICP has kind of enabled that. They've leaned into it more by not putting out songs about 13-year-olds having nice tits anymore. They don't
Oh
say
my
that in the
God.
lyrics anymore explicitly.
I don't think I've mentioned it, but just go back and one of them is taped and one of them's on video. The other one is just audio. But someone uploaded the ICP Howard Stern episodes. They are such nasty motherfuckers, man. Like there was the one lady being like, "I don't like the way these guys are talking about rape and stuff as a victim," and Violent J's like, "I'm glad you got raped, bitch. Don't call it saying this stuff, bitch." It's like, ugh, you're such
But
a
They had
He
legendary
he gave an
appearances on
interview.
Loveline too.
He gave an interview a couple years ago where he said, actually, this stuff is about love. So that cancels out all the times that those
That's
guys
right.
did statutory rape in the 90s and bragged about it in songs. It cancels out that 95% of their fans have domestic abuse convictions.
Mhm.
It makes them
Oh.
leftist.
Oh yeah, Loveline. I just looked up fucking ICP Loveline, and on that shows up Violent J makes a rape victim cry
Oh yeah.
from October 25th, 2000.
That sounds really leftist because his behavior is bad and people notice that his behavior is bad and antisocial. So that means it's leftist and good because people think he's stupid.
The Howard Stern caller didn't like cry. She was more just like, "Yeah, you guys are losers. Peace."
Yeah, you're going to get too fat to perform in like 20 years and no one's going to feel bad for you because your entire brand is drinking soda.
Well, I will actually.
You're
hand
the
it to
drinking
them.
soda guy. You're like Joshua Jerry except you're 65.
Them now though. Yeah, they've leaned into sort of that stuff, but also
They got a
don't
PR
really
person.
they don't fuck with their fans the way they used to. They've sort of grown up and like they do a lot of business moves and shit around Detroit, but
Well,
they're just
Violent J
really-
doesn't want his daughter to get raped.
yeah, yeah, they're really.
He can't
rich.
bring her around juggalos.
They're too rich to fuck with those people like they used to. It's really funny. Also, there's like they have a splintered fan base too, because some of them are twisted fans now. They hate ICP because they're sellouts. Blah blah blah. Like you're not a real juggler. You're supposed to be poor like us.
That is so funny that happened, that they're competing clown bands and they hate each other now. I miss the era when they were all together. They had the helicopter rides. They had Rowdy Roddy Piper. They had
Yep.
Pauly Shore.
They made 2 different Western movies for some reason.
They
Big
had
Money
Tech
Hustlers
Nine.
and Big Money Rustlers.
Those are on
Weird.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I only
Watch
like the
them both.
YouTube movies. My favorite movies are Big Money Hustlers, Big Money Rustlers, The King of Kong, and Heat.
My favorite movie is YouTube.
The whole thing?
It covers everything.
I have it on my tablet.
Instead of watching movies, you know, people have like movies they watch every year. I just at the end of in December I watch every trailer. That's it. And then I say I watched every movie.
Yeah, you gotta get prepared for Oscar season. Who has time to watch all those fucking movies, right?
There should be a letterbox for trailers. Where you can just write about the trailers. Like for people who have ADD and they can't see a movie.
I'm gonna start using Letterboxd like that. Or every single one. Meh, didn't finish. I was looking at my phone a lot. Just rate everything on one because you were looking at your phone. I couldn't pay attention.
Oh hey,
It's like Jack Squirrel.
Someone sent me this the other day. Fucking, have we been to the Chaos Josh, one of his friends, Horror Sage on Letterboxd?
Maybe?
It
I
sounds
feel like
familiar,
I've
but I
seen
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, he's like, his bio on Letterboxd is so fucking cool. So his name is the Horror Sage. Good evening and welcome, fellow children of chaos. I am your king of the trash movie world and monstrous sex symbol of the 21st century. Better the rain, the garbage pile, than to serve the tomato. I am an INFJKTTL lawful chaotic griffin claw.
Wow.
We who are about to die should never fear death, only being forgotten. Death to Netflix. Physical media is God.
Oh wow.
Then he quotes, "They might be giants."
Perfect.
He says that the quote is, "We were once so close to heaven, St. Peter came out and gave us medals, declaring us the nicest of the damned." And then he goes on, "If you want to comment in my reviews, go ahead. Just don't be a jerk. And if you follow me and I don't follow back, drop a few likes and comments. I don't always get notifications. Also, don't follow me and then unfollow after I follow you. That's a dick move."
You're lucky anyone follows you, dude. I think that's the fedora guy. Where it could be any of those guys.
That tracks. Yeah,
It could be the guy
it's
that peels dead skin off his feet on camera.
It's not the gas station attendant, I don't think.
No, the guy who falls asleep on the video.
Oh wait, there's a link to his. The link to his YouTube is the Chaos Infinity Roundtable playlist.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't really care about your opinion about movies or anything. If you're going to Chaos Infinity's house with the flies and just sitting there talking about Pokemon for 2 hours, like, I don't think there's a single thing where I would care about your opinion. If you're that guy and you like, that's okay. You're like, this is awesome. I love this house.
I may only inquire on their opinion to find out what the opposite is that I'm gonna do.
Yeah, no, the profile, it's all coming together to me now because yesterday, the person that sent me that DM, McDonald Tweets on Twitter, posted a tweet that made me laugh a lot, and it was like, of the Chaos Infinity Roundtable, and they said putting this playlist on while a Latinx Twinks comes over and gets cracked in half like a glow stick. It's tickled me so much. And then the YouTube link from it is like that same screenshot. So
It's really,
shout out to that tweet.
They're
That is
proud
really
of
funny.
those. It's so wild that they do that it's like, it's not that it's being filmed without their knowledge or one guy's filming it and they don't realize. Like, they're all proud of these
That's what it feels
conversations
like,
they
though.
have where, like, it'll straight up be like the top 20 hottest female anime characters. And it'll
That's
be
literally what it-
like 5 of the most stereotypical neckbeard guys that you could possibly imagine, just talking for 45 minutes, and you can visibly see flies around and like bugs crawling up the walls and shit.
Ugh.
And it's dope.
Top 25 movies, part 6, the finale.
They're all just grooming each other like monkeys, picking each other.
The Marvel pornographic universe.
And it's all guys who have never seen anything because all they know about is Nintendo, Wii, and Ghostbusters.
Awesome.
So they're when they rank movies, it's like Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Super Mario movie that just came out, Rugrats movie.
Being at Chaos Infinity's house and not being able to do anything because all you're doing is looking for batteries for the Wiimotes.
We gotta play
You up-
Miitopia.
You open up a drawer in the kitchen, look for batteries. It's all just cat turds. So nasty.
I'm taking over his mom's file in Miitopia. We still have to get to the castle.
So fun.
Josh said I couldn't re-roll my character. We have to finish this one first.
So weird.
I feel like I'm in the
Oh.
footsteps of a dead woman.
Well, everybody,
I feel Rosanna's spirit.
check out Chaos Infinity. Check out the Round Table. Check out Pokemon, Nintendo, and
Oh yeah,
the
we
new
went
game-
over.
the
Yeah,
new,
check
I didn't
out
realize
our
because we stopped.
Patreon.
This is like an hour 10.
the new game from
Yeah.
Bethesda, Seinfeld.
That's right. Check out
Check it
Seinfeld.
out.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Packs.
Seinfeld on Game Pass, everybody. Okay.
Watching my TV, MSNBC, looking for some good economic news. Unemployment is rising, the stock market's diving. No wonder Americans all have the blues.